Ferdinand Marcos Sr., a name synonymous with power, with controversy. Born in 1917, this son of a lawyer from Ilocos Norte would rise to become one of the most consequential figures in Philippine history. His early life, marked by ambition, by a drive to succeed. He excelled in school, he studied law, and even claimed a war record shrouded in debate. This blend of intellect and alleged valor would become part of his political persona. But Marcos wasn't just a studious type. Oh no. This guy had charisma. He could charm a crowd. He had this way of connecting with the common man, the Tao, as they say in the Philippines. This charm, combined with his sharp mind, made him a formidable political force. He rose quickly through the ranks, congressman, senator. Each step brought him closer to the ultimate prize, Malacanang Palace. The Philippines in the 1960s? Let's just say it was a time of change. The country was young, independent for less than 2 decades, but problems were brewing. Economic inequality, social unrest. People were looking for a leader, someone to guide them to a brighter future. Enter Ferdinand Marcos. He promised that future. Prosperity, security. His message resonated with the people. Marcos was a gifted orator. He knew how to play the crowd. He promised the moon and the stars. And in 1965, he got what he wanted. He was elected president. The Philippines had entered a new era, the Marcos era. Little did they know what was in store. The early years of Marcos's rule? Not bad, actually. He invested in infrastructure, built roads and schools. The economy saw some growth. Marcos presented himself as a man of action, a modernizer. He even charmed the international community. But beneath the surface, cracks were beginning to show. See, Marcos had a taste for power, and he wasn't afraid to use it. He consolidated his grip on the government. He started to centralize power. Opposition? Not tolerated. He muzzled the press. He went after his critics. Things were about to get a whole lot worse. Section 4. The Shadow of Martial Law, 1972. A year that changed everything. Marcos declared martial law. He shut down Congress. He arrested his opponents. The Philippines transformed overnight, from a fledgling democracy to a dictatorship. Marcos claimed it was necessary to restore order, to fight communism. But many saw it for what it was, a power grab, a way to silence dissent and rule with an iron fist. The years that followed were dark. Human rights abuses were rampant. People disappeared. Torture became commonplace. The economy, once promising, began to falter. Corruption became rampant. The Marcoses and their cronies amassed vast wealth, while ordinary Filipinos suffered. The seeds of discontent were sown. They would eventually grow into a movement that would challenge Marcos's rule. Section 5. A Legacy Divided. The People Power Revolution of 1986. Millions of Filipinos took to the streets, demanding Marcos's ouster. The world watched in awe as a dictator was toppled by a bloodless revolution. Marcos and his family were forced to flee, leaving behind a country in shambles. So, how do we remember Ferdinand Marcos Sr.? It's complicated. Some remember the early years, the progress, the infrastructure projects. They see him as a strong leader, a man who brought stability. Others see only the dictator, the human rights abuser, the man who plundered his own country. The truth? It's probably somewhere in between. But one thing is for sure. Ferdinand Marcos Sr.'s legacy continues to divide the Philippines to this day.